I'm going to introduce Sandra Holmes and Lyn Spaeth. Sandra is the founder and president of Luxe Home Staging and Design, and her partner is Lyn. They run a multi-award-winning home staging company in South Florida. Since its creation in 2005, Sandra and her team have staged over $2 billion of real estate, Although their goals and missions of changing the way real estate is sold, they believe that all properties need to be staged so sellers can sell for top dollar. Sandra and Lyn are also executive vice presidents of stagedhomes.com, and that is a staging training company. Sorry, I got a little lost.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the International Association of Home Staging Professionals Worldwide. Sandra and Lyn have both been internationally recognized as leaders in the industry, keynote speakers, published authors, and mentors to stagers worldwide. They actually just finished filming their first television show, Luxe It Up. It would be airing soon on Sunday mornings on CWTV with SoFlo Television, so do not miss it. I'm actually been waiting for that, so I'm really excited.
Yes.
It's like,
We are too.
So help me welcome Sandra Holmes and Lyn Spaeth.
Well, thank you.
That was such a nice introduction.
Right, who made that up? You take the microphone? I
Lyn.
think I get, uh-oh. Oh, no, you take the mic.
Oh, okay. Here we are.
Good evening, everyone. I feel like you can't see us. Like, we need to be over here. Can you see us now?
Can you see me now?
I'm going to tell you that we have a stage fright, right? Because of the cameras all the time, and we've just been on camera so much lately that I really don't like what HD does to me. As a matter of fact, I had to talk to our producer about that today. Like, could you get some different angles on us? Anyway, welcome everybody. Thank you, Sharon, for having us here tonight. She had asked us to come and speak to all of you for her event because Sharon is one realtor that really gets how important preparing your home for sale is. And what it does, of course, is to help you get it sold quickly and for top dollar.
And who doesn't love that?
More money, right? So we said, yes, of course, we would love to come out and talk to people here in the area about exactly what home staging is, because how many people here have ever even heard of home staging before? Yes? Okay, and how many of you have ever had your home staged to get your home sold? Yes? Good. What else? Okay, does anybody here currently have their home on the market? How many people want to put their home on the market, but you just know there's so much to do, you're just not sure how to get it done?
You stay awake at night thinking, what am I going to do with all this stuff?
Right. It's overwhelming for a lot of people. And so, you know, when you think about it, it's like it is a process, and there are people out there that can help you to get your homes ready for sale. And we always say, Lyn and I, we'd like to help people move on to the next phase of your lives, right? And of course, to make the most money that you can. So I'm Sandra.
And I'm Lyn.
And we are Luxe Home Staging and Design. Can you imagine? It worked before we got disconnected.
Okay, let's see what we can do. I got you. Okay. Don't worry. Okay.
You got us?
Yes, I do. I got everyone in here. Go ahead.
So, you know, what is home staging? We're going to go over the topics for you today. What is home staging? Because a lot of people said you've never even heard of it. You might see a few shows, a little bit about staging on HGTV or Bravo TV, and you know that everybody's doing it, but you're not really sure how much it costs, who to contact, what to do. We're going to go over that today, and no, we got to go back.
Oh, okay. We're going to talk about the realtor's role, and we're going to talk about your role as the seller, because you really are the person driving the bus, and we want to make sure you're going to get the most advantage out of the process of selling your home.
Don't let her fool you. She really drives a bus when she comes to your house. So, and
Go ahead, Wheezy.
And so some other things, we go over some financing options, because people always say, well, how much does it cost to do this? Or I can't afford to do this now. Or maybe all the equity is in your home, but we have different ways for you to pay to have your home. Maybe it's a few updates, some major updates, or even home staging, right?
So let's talk about the definition of home staging because I think it's a little unclear to a lot of people. It is, yes?
I was telling her that it works now.
Oh, okay, great. The process of preparing your home for sale so that it appeals to the largest range of home buyers. How do we do this? We do it by highlighting the space, the light, and the architectural features. Why do I say that? Because we're not selling your stuff. We're selling the house. And that's what people need to remember when they're getting ready to sell. We want to show the beauty of the space and the pretty architecture of the home. And the more space you have, the bigger price tag you can get. Sometimes when we move into our homes, we bring all our treasures, and then we bring more treasures, and we fill it up with all these things that we love, and then you can't see the space or the light or the architectural features. In Boston, where I'm from, I can't tell you how many homes I've walked into, and people have put bookcases in front of fireplaces because they ran out of room for their books. So it's the type of thing, we aren't selling the books, but we're selling the architectural feature. So we pay very close attention to that. And we know, based on the NAR report, the National Association of Realtors, that your number one marketing tool is home staging. So it is really key that you prepare, that you take the time, enough energy to get your house market ready. Because nobody is looking for that fixer-upper unless they're an investor, okay?
Exactly. Let me talk about what home staging is not.
She loves this slide because she loves that pig. Go ahead.
So, it's not decorating. A lot of people think, oh, can you come in and decorate my house so we can get top dollar? That is not home staging at all. And it's not highlighting your collections. We always say all the time that you have to be very careful when you're selling your home because a lot of people come through, and if you saved your whole entire paycheck to paycheck, your whole life collecting whatever your collection is, someone else is also collecting those same things. They could get stolen, they could get broken. So it's just best that you pack it up and put it away. Because again, we're not selling your stuff, we're selling your house, right? And we just don't put lipstick on a pig. A lot of times we get asked, look, we've got a cracked tile.
That's funny stuff. We don't
What?
put lipstick on a pig. That was a laugh. You were supposed to laugh at that. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So like they'll say, well, can you just put a rug here because we have a cracked tile? We don't want the buyer to see that. We don't ever cover up any problems that are in your house, ever. That is not what home staging is. So that's not putting lipstick on a pig, right? Or maybe it even means that you just haven't done, you lived in the house for 30, 40 years, and you have not done one thing to update it for what a buyer's looking for today. So us coming in and bringing furniture in for other things that need to be done there is not home staging, okay? We talked about a mechanism to hide issues and your condition. So home staging is not condition. Like everything needs to work in your house. Like your closet doors, when you open them, they need to have things that first that don't fall out to the floor. Two, they need to slide and stay in the tracks. Your windows need to open.
And you need closet doors, FYI.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people take them off,
People take them off, right.
Or, the condition is, let's say, broken windows or torn screens on your pools or, well, you all know, cracked tiles on your roof. I went to a house the other day. I was getting ready to meet the client. I'm walking in and, whoop, I went flying. And I was like, well, that's a liability, right? The driveway was starting to lift from the roots from the trees. So, you've got to fix those things before you have other people come and see your home. And then, of course, the deferred maintenance. It's all in the same. What needs to be taken care of? Your air conditioning, things that need to work properly in the home. Okay?
So how many of you have some deferred maintenance you should do, but you keep putting it off? Yeah. It's one of the things, we get used to things. It's sort of like I'll walk in for a consult and I'll say, oh, you have some water damage because I see this big splotch on the ceiling. And the client will say, oh, that's been there 30 years. It's fixed, but it doesn't bother me. Well, that's great. But a potential buyer will see that as a red flag. So we get used to those things that we don't make a priority. But when you go to sell, you want to make sure everything is top notch.
So Lynn, at a minimum, what are some things or tips that you can tell them about what they could do on their own before we even come around?
That is a great question, Sandra. So I'm going to tell you, this list is one that you can take home and start right away, because you're going to leave here so excited that you're going to get it ready. So here's my list. I give this to all my students and to all my realtors. This is not personal. This is about getting the house market ready, okay? Faith-based or religious items, collegiate or political.
But Lynn, why would you talk about faith-based items?
That's a good question. Not everybody shares the same religion or spirituality, and what you don't want to do is turn people off. Right now in this country, we have a very dynamic political climate, right? What you don't want to do is be a Republican and have Democrats come through and they're turned off. You want to take all those things away. Because if they're thinking about you and your religious or your political affiliation, they're not thinking about them moving into the house. Okay? Let's see. Photo albums, photographs. I know that people think, that's my family. I don't want to put them away. They're still going to be your family. But what you want to make sure is you protect your family. So we say, put those photographs away, as well as anything with your name on it. And people say, well, why? Well, if you have a little child named Ashley, you don't want somebody being able to come and find them and know their name. So you want to make sure that you're doing things to protect your family during this process.
You don't want to put your family at risk at any time. And we see it all the time. We see photos on the MLS or on Realtor.com. And there's another place you can go to called Bad MLS Photos. You know, toilet seats are up, kids playing toys, the dog, the ginormous dog, and that's another thing you want to put away, of course, while you're putting your home on the market. But, you know, you are really putting your family at risk when you have your family's names, diplomas, children. Everything needs to be packed up, and it's for that purpose. It's not that we don't like them. Buyers have to imagine themselves moving into the house, right? Not how you've lived in it, because they pay more attention to that than they do for your home. What are we selling? Your home.
Your home, correct. Papers and magazines. How many of us have piles of paper? Yeah, it can really take over. So you want to make sure that's all put away. And what I didn't put on this slide is you want to put your shoes away and your coats. You don't want them hanging on the back of closets and over furniture, right? And then this one that says remove any decorative item that's smaller than a grapefruit. Do you know why? I'm going to tell you. When people are on the computer looking at your property, anything small like that, we call it visual noise. It's not helping the space, and we're selling the space. So it may be something you really love. Put it away for safekeeping. You know you're going to take it with you anyway.
Right.
Put that away.
And one other thing that's not on this list that I just remembered, because, you know, there's 1,000 things that we could talk to you about, of course, to help you get started. But you always want to take your calendars off your refrigerator, right? And your doctor appointments and when you're going to be on vacation. When people are coming through, they just can't wait to find out when you're going to be out of town, one. Two, you never want to let people know, is there someone really sick in here and why are they always going to the doctor? No one wants to move into a sick home. Three, any of the medications and pills that you have laying around, people are just waiting to look in those bathrooms and your medicine cabinets to take them and steal them. So you want to make sure that all of that is out of mind and out of sight, okay?
Also, in your kitchens, put away those blocks with the knives in them.
Yes.
I know we sound a little crazy, but really it becomes a safety issue. Your cabinets in your bathrooms and your kitchens should be completely free of stuff. You might want to put a nice plant or a piece of pottery, but again, we're selling the space, not your things.
Oh, well, we didn't talk about...
Wait a minute, Weezy, go back. Okay, we talked about deferred maintenance, but the last item on this list is so important and it is so subjective. Would you not say, Sharon? Clean, clean, clean. We use the term Q-tip clean. And what does that mean? Everything should be spotless. If you took a Q-tip, would your faucets be clean?
The white glove test, right?
Yes. I say if Q-tip doesn't work for you, think of your mother-in-law coming over. That's how clean you want it, okay?
Your mother. She's just joking. You know that, right? You are just joking. No, she's not joking.
No.
But it has to be clean, and your idea of clean is not a buyer's perception of clean. So if you need, and that includes even your windows, right? How many of you, like, I see this all the time in real estate photos. Yeah, we're ready for you to come in, and we always say, make sure that your windows are clean. We have all this beautiful furniture, rugs, art, and accessories in there, ready for photos, but you didn't clean the windows, and all I see, well, actually, I can't see because they're so dirty. So you just want to make sure that everything is spotless in your house. It's actually the number one thing that you can do to make a difference in your home versus somebody else is clean. So let's talk a little bit about this. You know, we always say that there's so many different parts of the real estate wheel. Like, you know, when Sharon, like you've got the realtor, Sharon's your realtor, right? But she's got to be working with stagers, with title companies, and with inspectors and appraisers and banks and mortgages. And what am I forgetting? There's just all these different things that go on. And so one of the things that we do as stagers is that we make the process very simple for you up front, right, by having you do the things you need to do so you don't fail inspections and it ruins a deal, or, you know, it doesn't close, it doesn't appraise. And it is facts that show, according to the National Association of Realtors, that homes appraise for a lot higher when they're clean and then when they're professionally staged. Okay? Did you want to say anything else on here? Just that there's a lot that things that take place in the cycle of selling a home. So what are some home staging myths or facts?
Staging is another service to manage. Well, I can tell you that Sandra and I work very hard to make sure that it's a very seamless process for our realtors and our sellers. We do come out to the house, we do a consultation, we give you a bunch of information, but then if there is a quote needed for further work, we can do it all digitally. You can accept and approve the quote online, you can pay online. So we really do our best to make it seamless. And then when we show up, it's like magic.
Right. So that's a myth, right? How about this one? Sellers think that the realtor should pay for the home staging service. You know, I think that's a fact, and we hear it all the time, and I don't believe that a realtor should have to pay for your home to get sold for top dollar, right? Like, who do you hire when you go to sell your car? We always like to take our car and our house the same. When you go to sell your car, what do? You go get it cleaned. You want to make sure it smells good, it's vacuumed, it's shiny, it sparkles. You drive in there hoping to get top dollar for your home, but yet you won't do that to get top dollar for your house. So you have to take the investment of what?
Big
Well,
difference.
but
correct.
you'll do that for your car, but your largest investment is your house. And where do you get the most money? It's not in the car. It's in the house. But yet you won't do what it takes to make that shiny and squeaky and looking good and making sure it smells right. You know, all of the things I just said, you'll do it for that, but you won't do it for your largest investment.
Actually, they're all here because they are going to do it,
Yeah.
right?
But, you know, now, there's sometimes, you know, it all depends on the situation, but it's the seller's investment. And by the way, well, I think we're going to get into that in a minute. So that was a fact, but it's not real. Go ahead.
Home sellers call a stager weeks before listing a property. This is true often because when they bring the realtor in, they want the house already to be in top-notch shape. So people often feel like, no, we always call the realtor first. That is actually inaccurate because, again, the seller wants to make sure that the house gives a great first impression to the realtor.
Or I say, is it a myth or a fact? Because what really happens is that they'll hire the realtor and they'll say, I don't want to do it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just try it this way first. Well, and then all of a sudden, you may be calling us weeks after when you've been trying to sell your home for the last 60 days. Now you're calling us when it's too late. What happens is you're supposed to be calling us before you're getting ready to put your home on the market, not after. It becomes a stale listing. And what is it, Sharon? Like, isn't it like 2 to 3 weeks after it's on the market, it becomes stale? People that are looking in your area have already looked at your photos. They've already decided you're not the house that they're going to buy, but they're buying the one down the street. You're just helping to sell your competition all day long.
That's right. You don't want to sell the competition. You want to be the best product at that price point. Whatever that price point is, you want your house to compare and be the absolute best. Right. Realtors think stagers twitch their nose and make it happen. I'm really good, but I'm not that good.
I'm almost a magician, right? Like we just say, oh, by tomorrow, hey, we're going to put the house on the market on Monday. This is Friday. Can you stage the house before Monday because I got my photographer coming? That is not how we work. You have to give us time to prepare because we plan carefully. For example, if your house is vacant and we need to bring things in, it's going to be the right furniture, rugs, accessories that go with the architecture and style of your home. It's not just putting anything in there to say, oh, there's furniture in there.
And if it's occupied, you're living there while you're selling it, we need time to work with you to figure out a great plan so that it does show its best. And that takes time. You're probably working, so it's not like you have full time to get your house ready. So the more time you give to the process, the better results you're going to have.
Right. And some people think, we hear it all the time, oh, we don't need to do anything. All we need is just some flowers and music. We'll make it sound nice when they come in so it's relaxing, or we can go buy a fresh up thing of flowers at Publix and put it on a vase, and they think that's called home staging. That is definitely a myth. So there's the best one.
I watch Home and Garden TV. I can do it myself. Well, I will tell you, I have sold many homes, and when it's my own personal home, I never do it by myself. And why is that? The reason is I'm too close to it. And this is my profession. I've been at this 17 long years. I'm old school, but I do know enough about...
Old school, old timer.
I do know enough about the fact that when you're living in a property, it is hard to see it the way maybe somebody new coming in would. So we know having an objective third party is always a good thing to have.
Right, and we're always looking through the buyer's eyes, not yours.
That's right.
Right? So what are some real estate facts?
We know that most people today, Sharon, I wonder if this stat rings true for you. 95% are on the internet before they call an agent, right? So back to what Sharon said, your photography and your visuals, they're everything.
Mm-hmm. And, right, you only have one chance to make a great first impression. One time only.
Oh, yeah, that's what that says, right? And people say, well, my house is $300,000. It doesn't need staging. That is not our philosophy at all. Our philosophy is whenever you're going to sell a property, it deserves and you deserve to get the best bang for your buck. So it may be that you just have somebody in to come and consult and tell you what to do, or you may hire somebody to do the work. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter the price point. All properties benefit. Now, I have had people say to me, you know, I'm talking to a woman, she lives in a $5 million property, and she says, oh, I had an interior decorator do my house. I don't need it staged. And I said, actually, you probably do. Because when she designed it for you, it was very specific to your taste. And what the buyers are looking for today may be different. Mm-hmm. So just because of the price tag does not mean that it's in great shape for selling. It may be that she really loved pink and orange, and her whole house is pink and orange. Is that what buyers want today? No. So again, it comes back to every house deserves a little leg up against the competition. So it doesn't matter the price point.
Right. And not only the price point, it doesn't matter if it's in a slow market or a hot market. What does that mean? Some people call it a seller's market or a buyer's market. There's some areas in the country that homes sell in one day. But guess what? They still know that they had to stage their home first because it actually bought them an extra $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. in the sale price of their home, right? So it doesn't matter if it's in a hot market or a slow market, staging will get it sold every single time.
How many of you know that when you stage your property, it is a tax deduction off the sale of the house profit? Do you know that? It is a federal regulation, IRS Code 523. And what that says is for first and second time homes, the expense of staging is considered an advertising expense. And that a lot of people don't know that information, but that does sweeten the deal a little bit. You might be putting an investment out there, but it's certainly going to bring back a return to you.
Right. But one thing that we didn't mention is that it needs to remain closed, staged until the close. And this happens to us a lot too. People get so excited, like say like for our company, we have a 30-day minimum, right? That everything needs to remain in place. And we do that because we want you to make sure that the inspections, the appraisals, the deposits, the commitment letters, everything is in place to make sure it's actually going to close before we come and take anything out of the house, right? But they're like, oh, but I only want to, and can you give us a refund? A refund? I'm thinking you need to be paying us a bonus. I know
I need a
why that
bonus.
home sold so quickly. You did it your way for 6 or 7 months, then you called us in and it sold in one day, right? Don't you guys think that we should add a bonus?
I do too. I think we need a bonus.
I think so too. So what do you think are some of the roles of the seller that we can share? What are you, actually you have to ask yourself this, why are you selling? You know, are you doing it just because you think, oh, I'm going to put it on the market and see if it sells? You know, are you selling because you want to downsize, you want to upsize, you had a baby, was there a death in the family? Did you lose your job and you need to relocate, or maybe you got a promotion, you need to relocate? You know, are you elderly now and you have to downsize because you can't be in a 2-story home, or maybe you need help going into an assisted living facility?
Sandra, it's called right size.
Right size, what did I say?
Downsize.
I mean, you know, maybe you want a different lifestyle. Maybe you had your home out here in the west part of town for a very long time, like I did. I used to live here in Pembroke Shores. Built a house, raised the kids, right? And then after they were going to college, immediately I wanted to go small and to the east side of town. And I know a lot of people are doing that right now. So, you know, but I know that those homes that are out here were built a while ago. And there's some, and it's fine, however you lived in your home, but now when you want to get them sold, there are some things that you're going to have to do there for sure. But the question is always, why are you selling? And if your why isn't strong enough, then it's not going to really matter what we tell you to do to help you, right?
Oh, sorry. Communication. What we like to say is the realtor, you, the seller, and the staging team really are a team, and it has to be a collaborative effort. And communication between the three. I need to know how Sharon plans to market your house so that I ensure that when we stage it, we are highlighting all the right things. So it's really not about us telling you what has to happen. It's about us all doing it together. Does that make sense, Sharon? Yeah.
Right.
Because if it's really, you're going to fight the stager, it's not worth it. Everybody's going to be frustrated. Our goal, just like Sharon's goal, is to get you top dollar and sell it as quickly as possible. That's all. And we're really good at that. So we know how to do it. It's when people hire us and then everything's a struggle. So we do our best to keep it light, to keep it positive, to have some fun. We realize moving is a very
The most.
It can be a very stressful time. So we try to keep it as happy as we possibly can and easy.
Right. So, but you always have to, like she just said, we work together as a team, but you need to have commitment from yourselves first, and then commitment from us both ways, and communication is so, so key. Oh, and this is really big, you know, just because now it's staged and you did some of that work, sometimes overpricing it just because you know you're going to get more money for it isn't going to help you. You know, I always said it has to be priced right, it needs to be staged and marketed properly. When that happens, it's the win. 9 times out of 10, when we actually stage the properties, there's a bidding war that goes on, right? So that helps. And it helps you to create the interest because everybody wants your home.
And who doesn't love a bidding war, right?
Yes.
Oh, I already told you this.
Right. Same goal as to sell. So how many of you tried to sell in the past and you just took a low ball offer because you wanted to sell? And how much money are you leaving on the table? I actually, we see it all the time. We know that you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So we want to talk a little bit about stage or financing, because people always say, I can't afford it. Well, you can't afford what? You didn't even find out how much it really costs. And I will always tell you that the investment of staging is going to be far less than any price reductions or carrying costs that you have on your home.
Amen, sister.
Amen. So we also have an option that you can do any of the work up front. Maybe it's cosmetic, maybe it's just paint, or changing a light fixture. It could be something simple. And the actual staging, hiring us, and or needing to rent furniture, rugs, or accessories can be financed and be paid at closing. Well, there's a little bit of premium for that, but it's an option that you can do that. I always say we've got the option in hand for you, and or I say, do you have a credit card that maybe with a little bit less interest? But it is there as an option, okay? So they said that the investment is far less than any price reductions. This just shows you right here how it impacts the sale. So there's a percentage, 53% sold at list price, right? 37% sold above list price, and then 10% sold below list price. That actually after it was staged. That's pretty alarming statistics, right? And then if it is your only one measurable and number one marketing tool, to get it sold in less time, look at this. Do you want your home on the market for 84.6 days, or do you want it at an average of 10.3 days?
Okay, do you want your home on the market for 84.6 days? No. Try that again. No.
Well, when you live in the home, it becomes very difficult to always keep the toilet seats down or open up all the window treatments or keep the dishes out of the sink or make sure the pet bowls are put away, because all pets have to be out of mind, out of smell, and out of sight, right? And, making your beds made perfect every single day, or if you have children, cleaning up their toys because, oh my gosh, we have a showing. It gets really painful every single time that the phone rings and Sharon says, I got someone to come and see your house. It's a lot to do before they come. How many days do you want to do that for? Or do you want to have it staged and you're out of there in a month? We always tell people all the time, they're like, oh, we have to pack up a lot of things. I go, well, start packing now, because if you did get an offer on your property and they wanted to close in 10 days, you're going to be moving anyway, so start packing now. And it's a really good time that you get to say after all these years, is this something I want to take with me to my new home? Is this something I'm going to donate? Or is this something I can just throw out? Because you don't want to bring more stuff with you to your new house, right?
Have any of you read the Marie Rando book? I think that's her name. The Art of Decluttering? No? It's worth a read. And she talks a lot about if it brings you joy, you keep it. But if it doesn't bring you joy, then you should not keep it with you. So, go ahead.
Right. So I just want to show you a couple of different photos of things that we've done. Outdoor living, if you guys have a pool or a patio, we always want to stage it really nice outside, because that is something that buyers, especially if they're moving from other parts of the country, they're coming here because of South Florida and the warm weather and the palm trees and the water and the pool. So if you've got that, we're always going to recommend that you stage it. Because, for example, this house in particular, I think stayed on the market, showed this way for 1 year, a new construction home, right? Well, this is a $7 million home. After we stage it, it sold in less than 30 days for asking price. That's just one of the photos from the house, of course, right? And here's another one, right, Lynn? We did this condo. This was a builder's last unit they needed to sell in downtown Fort Lauderdale. It's set on the market for months and months and months. They have open houses there every single weekend. People would come in there, and nobody would buy it.
Because they didn't know where to put their furniture.
Because of the open floor plans that people have today, right? So once we staged it, same thing. They got an offer in less than 30 days. We like this one because they bought everything inside. It's nice, right? And this is a situation here where there is a death in the family. Right now, we have people that, family members or not, or people are dealing with the estate, right? And they live out of town. They don't have time to keep coming into town to deal with what needs to take place. And this house sat on the market for 1 year. The HOA fees here alone were almost $2,000 a month. But they were kept showing it this way: dark, heavy furniture, which is outdated, traditional. It's not what anybody's looking for anymore. Drapes that don't go to the ground. You might as well just take them off, right? I mean, there's just too much going on all the way up to the ceiling. Faux painting. So, you know, we had them remove everything. Actually, they had to change the carpet in here because there was stains all over the floor. So we just had them paint, remove everything, change the carpet, and we brought this in, and the house sold again in less than 30 days, right?
There is nothing wrong with this photograph on the left if that's how you love to live.
Right.
What we're trying to explain is that what buyers are looking for today is a little different than traditional. They want something more on trend. They want lighter colors. So
Light and bright.
light and bright. So we always say how you live in your home is perfect. But when you go to sell it, we have to rethink the whole energy of the house.
There's another one. Can you imagine? No, I'm not, right. Again, it looks like they had a fireplace in the middle of the living room. I'm not even really sure what that was. But red is such a color that you can't even see the beauty of the skyline because it's surrounded by tropical trees. But you can't even see that either because of the red carpet or the red planters. Red is such a strong color that that's all you can see in a house.
And I love red, but you should never stage with it.
Right. But look, we had them take the drapes down, right? Same thing. Painted, changed out the light fixture, and brought in different furniture. Sold.
Empty doesn't make it. Let me ask a question. For those of you in the room that are thinking of selling, will you be staying in your homes while it's on the market? Yeah, okay. Sometimes we have these new builds, and they're absolutely beautiful, but again, people can't visualize how to set the place up because it is such an open floor plan. And that was the case here.
Or better yet, you'll have a realtor that is not as professional as Sharon is, and then you go to look online and the photos say other, and all of a sudden you see a room with white walls and white floor, but you don't even know what room it is, right? And then you'll see, you go to the next room, they have 30 pictures on there, but they're all the white walls and the white floor with no definition. Nobody can even figure out what it is. In this situation, when you have the open floor plans, you've got to be able to define the spaces. Because if they can't imagine moving in, they're moving on down the street to your neighbors.
Right, so it's really important that every room has a focus and a definition. It can't be all things to all people, so.
I think in this one here, the story was these people moved, they were downsizing in this condo, right? And they had these built-ins here. And originally when we saw the photos, they had 2 card tables. They played canasta. But that's how they lived there. But that's the photos that were online. I said, no, you can't do that. And then all these shelves means that you've got to put stuff in them. And stuff equals clutter. So we made them actually rip out the those built-ins, right? Remove the furniture, and then we stage it to show the room it really is, a dining room.
We recommend it highly is what she meant to say.
What did I say?
I don't know, but it was not nice. Okay, so yes, the beauty of this,
We had them tear out those cabinets because that is out of style, and nobody wants that anymore, I
but
can
know-
tell you.
But here's the beauty of that. They had closed up this doorway. See in the right-hand side? That's a hallway to another part of the house. And once those bookcases came down, it changed the whole dynamic and energy of the house. So they were delighted because it sold very quickly once we inspired them to make these changes.
Right, so just another example of before and after. And this is a great one. How about this? I bet you there's a lot of people who have homes like this really out here because I think this was out here. So they've got the wallpaper border, pink walls, if you can see that. One, the red pillows, outdated traditional furniture that buyers are not looking for, right? The floors, outdated, popcorn ceilings, right? So what do we have them do? Well, in this one, they changed out the floors, and they took down, they changed out the popcorn ceilings, removed all the furniture and painted, and then we brought stuff in, sold. Just like that. Top dollar. What are people wanting to buy, this or that? Just another example. Vacant doesn't make it. So when you're working with us, again, we've got formal training. Actually, not only are we trained, we actually train other stagers and write the materials across not only the United States, but the world. So Lynn and I, as she had mentioned, that we have a staging training company because it's really important that people in this profession really know how to help you. So we educate them, stagers out there, so it's really, really key. And communication is so important when you're working and selecting a home stager. Make sure that you do your homework, right? And we're definitely customer-centric. Lynn loves our customers. I love them too also. She just really gets in there with them. That's all. So she specializes a lot in occupied homes, and then we have another team that we specialize in vacant homes. So when you're doing an occupied home, it's like you are very intimate and close with your treasures.
That's right.
So we stay on top of today's design trends by going to market. We go to market 4 times a year. We have trucks coming to our warehouses.
Let me translate what that means. We go to furniture market in South Carolina every year to
North Carolina,
sorry, to purchase up-and-coming trends so that our inventory stays on top of those trends. Not all stagers do that, but that is one thing that does differentiate us. Besides our monogamous, how do you say that word?
So we're insured.
Monogamous. Okay. Our sparkling personalities.
We're insured. We do have our professional policies and how we work with you, which we all need to agree on how we're going to work together. We have a great portfolio to show you. And we work mostly on referrals and testimonials. I mean, we don't even really do any marketing. Everything comes from, we saw a house that you stage. We saw a house that you stage.
We saw your truck.
Yeah.
What did I want to just say? We have a lot of fun, but we work very hard.
Yeah.
So we don't take ourselves very seriously, but the work we do, we realize we're working with your number one investment. So we take that very seriously. I like to have a lot of fun because that's who I am. But honestly, the quality of our work, the attention to detail, the integrity of our business, and how we treat our clients and their possessions is second to none.
So how can we work with you? If you are looking for a home stager and getting ready to sell your home, right? We do consultations. That means in a lived-in home, we come in, we tell you what needs to be packed up, put away, rearranged, what we may need to bring in, and maybe, some cosmetic things that need to be done. We do both occupied and vacant properties. We help to co-host events at your house and bring other realtors that are always working with buyers to your home. We have furniture rental. And actually, after you even move into your new home, we can be there on move-in day and help you get your new home set up. So it always looks nice, right? What else? Color consultations.
Interior decorating, window treatments, and because of that sun, and we also specialize in vacation rentals. I do have a realtor who gives me as the home. What am I trying to say?
So
when they move in, it's escaping me.
she's trying to say that the realtors will give a gift certificate to her, so they're there on move-in day, so she can help them
Place furniture and
Right.
decide where things go. Thank you.
Right. So those are some of the services, and we just want to show you a quick video, because I'm not really sure how this works, of some of our work, and then we'll close from here. Can you see it okay? So this is a vacant house on the market for 1.5 years. Vacant.
Scale is very important, as is color. You'll notice there's a thread of color throughout. And the attention to detail.
You know, if you notice, our pillows are the same color as the tile on the pool and the water. So we're really good at bringing the outside inside. And blue is is a very calming color.
But balance and symmetry, scale.
We always want to make sure that our master bedrooms are luxury, like a Ritz-Carlton or the top hotel, right? Luxury sells. Your bedding on your beds is really, really important. You know, and even the details, right, in the master bathrooms, same thing. What do you expect when you walk through a hotel room? You want it to be clean. You want it to be spa-like.
Here's the outdoor space. And that's Luxe.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, I have a question for all of you. Oh, I have a question for all of you. How many of you are feeling a little intimidated at the moment? Like, oh my God, if they come in, they're going to make me take everything out and I'm going to have to start fresh. Anybody? Okay, I will tell you that isn't the case. We do try to start with your things. And if they elevate the property, we use them. We might bring in a few other things, but don't assume if you call in a stager that they're going to say, oh, it all has to go. We always try to start with what you have. Mm-hmm. Does that make you feel any better? Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
What?
You stage also for rentals?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. For rental properties and vacation rentals, that's a big, big deal. Yeah, but even, we have a lot of landlords that hire us to do the rental. Helps you to get, first of all, it helps you to get it more money for your rental. And then the more money it is, then you have the right people coming in, right? That take care of your home. So staging really, really helps to do that. Mm-hmm.
How many of you are in freestanding homes? Okay. And how about townhouses, things that are attached, condos? Okay. Yeah, so it's a nice mix in here. Great.
No
was
other
just
questions?
curious.
Yeah, I was, okay, why?
Okay, did you learn anything? Did
Yeah.
you learn that I'm the funny one and she's not?
Really? Really? You'll have to stay tuned, really. Our TV show, we just had a meeting with our producer today, and we're very excited about Luxe It Up, which is going to be the name of our TV show. And they want to take us across the country because they think we're so funny. I know you probably don't think that we are
I
right
know
now.
I'm really funny. I'm not sure about her, but okay.
Can you believe it? So they talked about that. They just went to a film thing where they had the content from what we've been recording, and then the TV companies were out there looking to take it nationwide. So we're pretty excited about that. So you can look for us. One, you can call us to come to your home and help you. Two, you can look for us on the CW on Sunday mornings at 11:30, coming soon to you. Sharon can
you.
send out an
Thank
email
you.
and send it over, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.